All right, welcome everyone to our Human Resources meeting. It is April 6, 2023. The time is 10 a.m. We are working on a corrected agenda. The agenda says 11, even though the meeting was posted everywhere at 10 a.m. So I'm calling this meeting to order. In attendance are Commissioners Brooks, Matari, and Duncan. Are there any changes to the agenda? All right, none. We'll get started with our first item, request for temporary part-time intern, Public Defender's Office. And Jay, you are representing your office today? All right. Yeah, you can podium or you can sit here and just make sure you push the button so it's green. And, yep, perfect. Thank you.
Hi. So our office has an intern right now that is paid, but he doesn't usually use up all the hours that we have allotted to him. We asked, I guess I want to say September or November, for a second position that was granted to us for 30 hours. It's a part-time one. I think it's supposed to be about 10 weeks. We successfully convinced two students to be our intern for this summer. And so our request is to take that position, lengthen it from 30 to 32 hours, and cut it in two so that we can pay each of them for 16 hours a week of work, which we figured is roughly what we'll get. And we believe that this won't cause us to go outside of our budget, since we have what Anne refers to as salary savings, which
Yes.
seems to mean that we have like 10 positions that aren't filled and just money that is already allocated but we aren't spending it on.
Sure. So Sylvia, if we approve this, does it start over at the beginning of October, or do we address this in the budget season?
I would think they have to request their intern, or for
Okay.
position budgeting, I'll ask Brandon
Okay.
on the interns,
Yeah.
do they have to request them each year?
Because they're at a B
Well,
budget.
yeah, it's only approved for a certain number of weeks.
Okay.
So, and I think it's summertime.
Yeah.
So it basically lapses by the end of the school year.
Okay, that's what I just want to make sure. Okay, questions?
Nope.
All right, motion?
I move that we approve the temporary request for part-time interns, plural, from the Public Defender's Office.
I second the motion.
Bill Brooks,
Aye.
Commissioner Matari.
Aye.
Chair Duncan.
Aye. All right, thank you, Jay.
Thank you.
Item 2, request for ADA accommodation with our juvenile detention. Are we going to need to go into executive session, or you think we can handle this? Okay, let's see if we can do that. Make sure you push your button there.
Commissioners, Eric Sheffield here, Juvenile Detention. We have a long-term exceptional employee who requires hearing aids to meet our juvenile detention officer standard for hearing. Those hearing aids last 5 to 6 years. They were last replaced in 2017. We're asking that the county consider paying half of the cost of those hearing aids. They did in 2017. The cost has actually gone down since then. So I have an invoice, I have numbers here if you would consider that. We do have room in our travel and training budget. We expected to have 2 post academies. This year post could only swing 1 academy. So we do have some revenues left in our budget that we could use to pay for that if it's approved.
Are there any other line items that you might think you're going to go over that we need to save that training money for, or you think that
I think within the confines of travel and training, we're absolutely fine there. I don't expect to go over anywhere else in the budget.
Okay. All right, questions?
No questions.
All right, motion?
I move that we approve the request for the ADA accommodation in juvenile detention for the hearing aids.
I second the motion.
Bill Brooks,
Aye.
Commissioner Matari.
Aye.
Chair Duncan.
Aye. All right, thank you. Item 3, request to reactivate position juvenile probation. Mr. Alexander, please.
Thank you, Commissioner. Brian Alexander for the record. Yep. So today I'm asking to reactivate our part-time pre-sentence investigator position. At this time, our numbers are increasing, and so to cover that, we're using our probation officers, which takes time away from them to use their caseload and be out in the community. And previously, under this position, it was under the Juvenile Corrections Act. And with that, that is one fund that has stayed steady. Unfortunately, with the influx of wages, benefits, we removed that because the county was covering the difference. So today I would hope to reactivate that and have it come out of the tobacco funds. Even though we do have salary savings, I think tobacco funds would be the appropriate position to put that under.
Okay, great. And Brandy, any?
No, there's
All
no
good.
tobacco funds.
Okay.
Are we thinking to fund it 100% with that?
Yes.
This is a part-time position.
Correct.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Questions?
Nope.
All right, motion?
I move that we approve the reactivation of a position in juvenile detention.
I second the motion.
Bill Brooks.
Aye.
Commissioner Matari.
Aye.
Chair Duncan.
Aye. All right, motion passes, thank you. Item 4, request for ARPA funding of position. This is the auditor's office and our clerk Locke and our finance director, Randy Falcon.
Good morning, Commissioners. Brandy Falcon for the record. We are requesting to fund one of our senior grants accountants, 30% with ARPA funding, since she oversees 3 main sectors of grant activity, and ARPA is one of those. And with the activity increasing and the building process becoming more and more involved, we feel it would be appropriate utilization of those funds, the same as several of the RMO staff are also partially ARPA funded.
Okay, and then is Jody aware of it and the calculations, we're gonna have enough to cover?
Yeah, we ran a calculation based off of how much is funding her staff, and then there was sufficient funds for our accountant.
Okay, perfect. Questions?
And this will not include any duplicative efforts between RMO and your office?
So what our accountant does is strict, it's not stuff that their office is handling.
Okay.
So, questions? No questions? Okay, motion?
I move that we approve the request for ARPA funding of the position in the auditor's office.
I second the motion.
Bill Brooks.
Aye.
Commissioner Matari.
Aye.
Chair Duncan.
Aye, all right. Motion granted. Item 5, request to continue higher duty pay, and this is in our district court.
Yes, Commissioner, just Jennifer Locke, clerk. We're requesting continue higher duty pay for our court service manager, who is currently taking on the duties of the court service director. We're asking to extend this through the end of fiscal year '23 or until the position is filled, whatever is sooner. This is budget neutral request, and it uses the unused funds for the director position.
And I probably would recommend that the motion, if it's approved, just say until the position's filled.
Okay.
So we did that with the sheriff's office on another item, so. Questions? Motion?
I move that we approve the request to continue higher duty pay for district court until the position's filled.
I second the motion.
Bill Brooks.
Aye.
Commissioner Matari.
Aye.
Chair Duncan.
Aye. All right, thank you. Number 6, request for parity increases, adult misdemeanor probation. Keith?
Good morning there. I'm coming in front of you right now is a couple of months ago, we came and approved the position that we could help with the offset of so many caseload that's coming in right now for the position. And we were approved originally to bring in at a level 3 if we found somebody with the credentials. Currently, we did find somebody with the credentials. They have 9 years of experience. They're a drug court probation officer. They were a lead officer. They're already post-trained in the aspect of it. They're listed as a trainer, an ARCON, high liability instructor. Also with a strong work ethic. You know, all of his referrals goes to the direction of him just having a great long-time employment here with us. What I can't bring him in is a level 5. Because if I did that, with the long thoughtfulness of it, everything where we're at, which would kind of put the morale bad at the department. That's why I'm coming in also asking for the parity along with hiring this individual, of bringing them on as a level 3. In front of you, you'll have two pieces of paper. The first page is for fiscal year '23. With the parity and the new employee, the total amount would be $66,084, with the fiscal increase in fiscal '24 of $110,851. In that $66,000, $12,200 of it is for the parity pay. And then for the next year, it would be $25,000 for the whole entire year. I think this little amount will carry us a long ways into the future and also keep the morale, what we worked so hard as a group to keep up. So that's what I'm requesting.
And without going to executive session, I think we do have some potential for disparate impact in that office. So, yep. All right, questions?
No.
How many positions do you have open right now?
None. I haven't had any opens in just over 3 years. That's why the parity pay is really important to me, because of that. We've had them full for just about 3 years and then beyond.
Thank you.
Okay. All right, motion?
I move that we approve the request for the parity pay increases for adult misdemeanor probation.
I second the motion.
Bill Brooks.
Aye.
Commissioner Matari.
Aye.
Chair Duncan.
Aye. All right, motion passes.
Thank you
Item-
from AMP. We really appreciate it. Thank you for your time.
Item 7, discussion of senior business analyst position. And that would just be us. So, Nancy is very excited to look forward to retirement here shortly. I think it's less than 30 working days, which she reminds us daily. And we really appreciate all the stuff that she's been able to do on our for our team. So my question in putting this on is, are we interested in filling that position when Nancy leaves? And I would probably suggest an overlap if that is true, if the board wants to continue on with that. But I'm just looking for a conversation here. So she's done a lot of work for me. I've really appreciated the value that that position adds, and it's allowed me to do a lot more work. So.
Well, I've always liked the fact that she had the sequel experience so she could help put these reports together. I know they tend to be very helpful for other departments and elected officials. And I think it would only be prudent that you have the overlap so that there's an opportunity to transfer that knowledge to the degree that it can be. So I would say we should at least start looking now.
Okay.
I would say the position to me has not been particularly helpful, but at the same time, if it is helpful for you two, then I would recommend we do an overlap.
Okay. All right. So I think at this point, it's just direction, and my staff will work with HR to go ahead and start recruiting, I guess, for that position. And that way we can time the overlap. Okay.
And we'll make the additions to the job description that Nancy updated, adding the sequel responsibilities that weren't in there originally.
Yeah,
But they
are
do
you-
not change the grade of the position.
Right. So are
Could I get
you,
a copy of that, please?
Yes, absolutely.
yeah, are you okay with the additions, or do you want to look at the job description?
The addition with the sequel, I'm fine with that.
Okay. Okay. All right. I think that's it. And anybody on the line, Nancy? No. Okay. So public comment. There's no public here. It's 10:14. Meeting adjourned. Thank you all.